All right. What's going on? What are we doing? I'll tell you. Last workshop, we ended up making a settlement or a region. And we did that because as we were going through an understanding of different religions, or not even just religions, of different holidays, some of which are religious, we took a sampling of different kinds of celebrations in the fall, or in autumn, if you prefer. And we discussed how holidays can be secular, historic, civic, religious, even commercial holidays, which you're like, oh, Sweetest Day, that's a Hallmark holiday, or something like, it's National Donut Day. And everyone who goes to a donut shop that's participating can get a donut. There's a lot of different types of holidays that we observe, honor, have a devout, like a reverence to, an observation. And so we went down a list of some sample ones here. There's just the equinox. This is just the natural occurrence that ushers in the autumn. We have Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, which are a religious observance with a different theme than even what we would see down below of Diwali or Eid al-Adha. Oktoberfest, maybe more of a civic, or just like it's a harvest festival. It's a time of food and drink, of celebration, right? There's nothing necessarily religious to it. Could be born out of history as well, as, you know, in that part of the world, if you wanted drinkable water, the drinkable water was beer. Because if you drank out of the river or the lake, then you're probably going to catch something and die. So we went over all kinds of different holidays to prime what we were thinking and to understand why where you live, it is a part of your culture and even a religion or the history that you have, and that would be developed into a holiday in some way. So with that as our framing, we made our setting together by having you all roll up some different answers for the worksheet. And you better believe that tonight we're going to use a worksheet as well. Can you fill in a worksheet? Can you roll some dice? Congratulations, you are capable of doing this exercise. That's all you need. Because in the workshop, we have a setting, or a saying, that goes iwi. Now, what is iwi? Well, some channels have owos. Some channels have uwus. Here, we have iwis. And iwi stands for it writes itself. I'm from Denmark. Here, even the kids got beer curse. It wasn't safe to drink normal water. Good old times. Yep, clicker. Yeah, and there's our first. If you remember from the very first memorial picture I showed earlier, you could find that old iwi concept on one of the books. George, hello, good to see you again. So we filled out this area, the region that we're going to be making some original fantasy holidays, in particular autumnal ones. It is mountainous, and it is against a great body of water. Now, whether or not that's saltwater, freshwater as a lake, or freshwater as a river, we can explore that, but we have these solid considerations. It is a militocracy. We made some monuments to consider. There's an intact statue of a person, a dead magic zone, a sealed pyramid. The dominant race were gnomes, followed by dwarves, and we rolled that the racial majority were conquerors. And so we're going, all right, so what caused this? Was this just a war? Weapons fired, people slain? It was even brought up that what if it was the dwarves that were the ones who were warlike? The gnomes simply came in and as sort of like a merchant class, just sold everything to the dwarves so they could continue to propagate whatever conflict or whatever they were doing. And by the end of it all, the gnomes actually were in the dominant position because there was more of them, because they weren't on the front lines, and or they were the ones that had and were investing the wealth that they were receiving from the dwarves who might have squandered theirs or spent it in their wartime efforts. And so even with these prompts, maybe these are things that hadn't been considered. And so the conquering is really just more of a financial one. It's run by a mysterious anonymous cabal. It is a major trade center. It's known for a great hero. And the current calamity, an important figure died, and Mordor, is suspected. And Dunce, hello, welcome. Thank you very much for the raid. And here, Clicker, a skull to you as well, my friend. There you go. So we have these prompts. If you want to make the gnomes out to be like the Ferengi of Star Trek, or if you want to actually have the gnomes be a military force, and it was just a pew shoot 'em up battle of attrition between gnomes and dwarves, cool. Two different types of tech, or two different whatevers. We have a lot of prompts that we can use for inspiration. Like the ground, it has been, or the stage has been set. The ground has been laid. All right. To further refine, what are these autumn holidays going to be? Here's our backdrop. Here's the setting. Now, I want to propose something to you that is going to be not just I'm going to make a not Halloween. I'm going to make a not Oktoberfest. Things like that. A not Dia de los Muertos. And thank you, Matt Alpha, for the follow. Welcome to the Hero Zone. Now, how are we going to do that? How we can use these real holidays with which we're familiar as a consideration, but if we want to make original fantasy holidays, and especially custom make them to our setting. I mean, let's presume that this is where we're going to run a story as the DM. How can we do that? A way that I found works very well is to make a personification of the holiday. Either because it is a holiday based on a person, religious, historic, civic, etc., or simply we can personify the holiday and then extrapolate the personification into an intangible idea or celebration. And a very good way of doing that I'm going to go through with you, we're going to make one NPC and one villain. Because not all holidays are, dancing around happy fun time. There are a lot of holidays that are memorials for the bad things that have happened, or even a bad person. In the case of he who shall not be named, or something along those lines. So it may not be a holiday where everyone busts out their like we need a red scarf and wear wooden clogs on this day. There may not be formal prayers or foods or something. But the villain is a personification of something that could be disastrous. It could be a bad societal movement or a point in time in that society, or in the history, or especially in the religion that the people might hold, where we remember this not because it's good, but we remember it because it's bad, and we don't want this to happen again. And so I find if you personify your holidays and you use some sort of character making, we're going to go through an NPC worksheet and a villain worksheet together. But you'll be able to get some extra ideas that you can also interface with your setting and go, aha, these people would seemingly naturally celebrate this. So let's put away our setting. We'll get back to that tomorrow when I'm broadcasting from the store. And we're going to open up our... Here we go. This is it, everyone. This is it. So, if you're rolling your eyes going, oh, an hour of this? It's not going to take an hour. And the villain worksheet only has a little bit more to it. But I want to reveal to you this process. And even if you don't end up using it, maybe I can at least get you to consider this idea and then customize it for your own experiences, the way that you think, or the way that you want to present the game to your players. I can only give you concepts, and it's really my hope that you take them and run, and you go on and do your own things with it. You take these worksheets, you take these ideas, and you modify them, because if you are having fun at your table with your family and friends, that makes my heart happy. Delport says, depending on whether the majority of the culture identifies with the conqueror, days commemorating great battles might be celebrations or memorials. Yeah. It can go into the concept of histories written by the victors. Or if there's just been a cultural assimilation or things like that. And we'll find out more. Now, if any of you want to lock in any particular aspect of this NPC personification of a holiday, you can spend your inspiration points. Those are the channel points, and they look like this. Inspiration. And with your redemption of a workshop dice roll, let me know which category you would like to roll. Otherwise, I'm going to call on random people in chat to help me out. And all of the commands are easy. If I call on you to roll a D12, it's exclamation point 1D12. Because sometimes I might need a 2D12. You see how it works? All right, so for any of you watching later on YouTube, or if you're just watching this chat, the bot commands don't show up here. But for those of you who are here live, you saw that we got a 10 on the 1D12 roll and a 9 and a 12 on the 2D12 roll. All right, Kragar, have a good night, and thank you for hanging out, sir. Also, if you are playing along at home, bust out your player's handbook, which you might have purchased from your friendly local game store. And if you don't have one, hey, let me know. I'll hook you up. If you get your player's handbook out, we're going to be referencing the player's handbook, and especially, we're going to be referencing our Dungeon Master's Guide. And I want you to open up your DMGs to Chapter 4 on page 89, all right? Class, are you listening? And here we go. This is our holiday personification with the backdrop of this interesting militocracy. So, Artemis Rose Moon, will you please roll 1d20 in chat? I want you to tell me about this character's appearance. In fact, I'm going to scoot this a little bit more over here as we're going back and forth. Lands on a 1, distinctive jewelry. Earrings, necklace, circlet, bracelets. Artemis Rose, will you please roll 1d4 in chat? Bracelets. Okay. Next up, this personification has a high ability and a low ability. And Rip Artist, can I have you roll 2d6 in chat, please? 2 and 6. All right, a high dexterity. We are lithe, agile, graceful. A low charisma, dull, boring. Now, what does this mean for the holiday that this characterization is presenting to us? We're building it one piece at a time. Maybe an idea isn't forming yet, or you have this seed and we're watering it and getting it to grow and grow a little bit more. What is this this talent that we have? Clicker fishing. I need a 1d20 roll, please. Exclamation point 1d20. Yes, the story will write itself, Clicker. Ah, welcome back, Afterfov. Lands on a 2. Speaks several languages fluently. Okay. Next up, a mannerism. Delport. May I please have a 1d20 roll from you? Iron Chef, we'll see. And Iron Chef, I can call on you. I can call on you next here. Delport, if you're here, can I have you type exclamation point 1d20? We have a 15. Stares into the distance. All right. Now, how does this NPC personification get along with others? Iron Chef Lord, will you please give me a D12 roll in chat by typing exclamation point 1d12? Eight. Hot-tempered. Okay. Now, this is my generic NPC worksheet. Useful knowledge, that's a black box that a DM can put whatever into. I'm not too worried about that. Now, we are going to go back to occupation and history, though we're going to approach it in that's also kind of a black box, like a filler, though there's a way that we can fill this in as well. All right, so we have this useful knowledge. Now I need an ideal. And for that ideal, let's see, who do we have hanging out in chat? Dunce, are you still here? Dunce, if you are here, can you please type exclamation point 2d6? After Fav, I can call on you next then. One, two. This is an evil ideal of domination. All right, our bond after Fav is a 1d10 roll. You need a 1 in there after Fav. Kind of like a Krampus figure, Delport? Lands on a 3. Protective of colleagues or compatriots. And then lastly, we need a flaw or a secret. Bane, if you are hanging out with us, Bane, can I get a 1d12 roll from you, please? No, Bane says defiantly before rolling an 8. Ooh, a specific phobia. All right. Now, we can just stop here if we wanted to. Against the backdrop of our mountain and water region that is a militocracy. The gnomes have taken over in some way and actually run this region through a secret cabal. There has been a murder. There is a burial pyramid. There's a lot going on in the backdrop here. Now, our holiday is going to come about because of these traits. And we can further clarify if we need to. If you're looking at this and you go, so this is probably something, speaks several languages, it is a trade center, stares into the distance. So if someone stares into the distance and there is this idea of domination, protective of colleagues or compatriots. What if this is, if the dwarves had been conquered through military or through commerce or something else? What if the dwarves of this place celebrate this holiday where they were on the lookout? This might be a more historical / civic, where someone was on the lookout for enemies and something happened, and this is a memorial of that, or a celebration of some great hero. Which, of course, if you recall, what was this place known for? There is a great hero that has come from this place. This could be either the character or an inspiration. Now, if you do need... Sorry, everyone. If you do need a little bit more prompting, then, yeah, it could be awaiting a hostile army, awaiting a liberator. It could be them always on the lookout. Who can free us from the gnomes? Maybe the resistance wore bracelets now, and they wear them. Yeah, and so that would be like a holiday fashion, or that's something that people wear during this observance. Do you see? All right, so we have this personification. It could be the person this is based on, or this is simply giving us the cultural clues set against our setting. And because of that, it is making sense, and it is an organic holiday that makes sense these people would celebrate, and it brings your story more to life. Now, how can we go through and improve this even further? We're going to go over here. Do you know that part that was occupation? The part that was occupation and history. We are going to make a quick character, so to speak. Coffee Man, I would like you to type ! 1D100. Now again, we could have just stopped there if we wanted to, and you could stop there, but I want to go through a more complete exercise, and you can choose to exclude one or the other. We have a 6. All right, so we have a female character. If you wanted to just keep it dwarves or gnomes, you can. Not everyone might have. Look, if you're a DM, it's your world. Everyone's a tiefling, and there's no one else but tieflings. There you go. Or in this case, if there's no one but gnomes and dwarves, there you go. Let's keep this open, though, to come up with maybe an interesting other idea. Who else is here that can help? Kragar's gone to sleep. Do I have Osric around? Or Ravenstar? Looks like Kapadrazi's not here. Vlad, or Vlad if you're here. Insomnia Knight, Woden. I'm looking for some names to roll some dice, please. All right, Raven, I would like you to roll 1d9, please. Bristle Bandit and Goblin Town are here. Delport says, oh, are the bracelets made in a ribbed shape so that they click-clack as you move, and the sound wards of the evil spirit by imitating the many-booted feet of a reinforced army? Oh, that is some good flavor, Delport. All right, Raven rolls a 5, so we have a half-elf. And Bristle Bandit, I need a 1d100 roll, please. We're going to use the balanced odds and find out what we have. $92. Chaotic Evil. All right. Well then. We have a Chaotic Evil female half-elf. Let's continue with the prompts. What is the background of our character, Goblin Town? Welcome back. I need you to type exclamation point 1d18, please. Nine. A guild artisan, or actually in specific, a guild merchant. Ooh. Well, if this is this could actually end up being what incites the gnomes if it is a gnomish thing or an economic war between dwarves and gnomes, and not necessarily an all-out militaristic one. But we have a guild merchant, and with that is going to be another dice roll. Goblin Town, can I get a 1d20 roll from you, please? And while you do that, we have to go to our Pahubba Hubba Hubba Hey and go to Chapter 4, Backgrounds, because we need to find out which kind of trade this is carried with this concept. So let's scroll down. There's our little dude. There we go. Goblin Town clarifies and says this is 12. Masons and stonecutters. Let's just do this real quick. All right. Is the story writing itself, everyone? You're seeing it happen live in front of you with these dice rolls. All right, going back to our character here. We are not using Eberron, so we're going to go back to the D12. Who else is here that has not yet rolled? Rip Artist has rolled. That was a 2d6. Was there anyone else out there? Osric, Kagome, if you're out there. Any of you, there's 62 of you out there. Step up and roll some dice. I would love for this to be as participatory as possible. Oh, Delport. Oh, wow, it's getting late here. I'm going to head towards bed. Delport, thank you for the ideas and for hanging out. I hope that you do like where it goes. And Matt Alpha, can I have you roll a D12 in chat? And Derek, I will call on you for the next roll. Yep, just a moment. I need an exclamation point 1d12 from Matt Alpha. 9. A rogue. Weren't you all just talking about rogues in chat? And in particular, Derek, I need a D3 roll from you, please. Yes, Keys. In fact, I will need your help in a moment. 1, an arcane trickster. Oh, I keep going back and forth between is this a gnome? I mean, like, I know we rolled half elf, but Is this more of a gnomish, a dwarvish? It's a lot of everything here. And now, keys. I need you to type exclamation point 1D100 in chat. And this is going to give us our age category. I don't need a specific age because this is a personification. It could be a person, but this is just for general guidance. Rolls a 9, so we have a young adult. All right, from everything that we just planned, we can add a little bit more detail such that this holiday's concept is based on either a person like this, or what can we extrapolate? A young adult, chaotic evil, female half-elf, arcane trickster rogue, who is a guild merchant specifically to masons and stone cutters. So remember, the guild merchant in this case doesn't make the tools, but sells the tools. Maybe forges the contracts. Is the delivery system, the logistics of things as well. So distinctive bracelets. Delport was talking about wearing bracelets that sort of did a click clack, maybe to ward off. Just to be a reminder of like marching boots coming in for war. What is the concept that we can glean from having a character who is high dex, low charisma, dexterity, lithe, agile, graceful, but a low charisma, dull or boring? We have a person and or a holiday about several languages. This could be a clash or that coming together. Or this is someone who might actually have been the one that that signed the peace between the gnomes and the dwarves. And was a facilitator of talks. Staring into the distance as a prompt, or as something that happened in history or folklore or religion. Hot-tempered. There's a frustration. There's a quick to anger, or a maybe feelings of needing to be vindicated for something, or that something was mishandled. There's a concept of domination. This is something that is protective of colleagues or compatriots. And somewhere there is a phobia. This could end up translating to a cultural taboo, or this could end up being translated into this person, actually, like, this event happened, I don't know. They were afraid of rats. I mean, so we're talking about rats. We're listening to the rat battle on tabletop audio. And a rat appeared during this crisis negotiation, flipped the table, and everything went haywire. And if it wasn't for that rat, then none of these other things would have happened. Because maybe it was revealed that someone or something was under the table. Maybe there was a trap, or whatever. Artemis says, descendant of the person who might have brokered the deal between the dwarves and the gnomes. So it sounds like then, what you all think that this is more of a, that this is probably more of a historical holiday. Now, while we do have someone who is impulsive and selfish, chaotic evil, I mean, we don't have to roll a villain for there to be just someone who acts in a villainous manner, or the impulses here from someone who just was, just not in line with the others who are interacting, might have actually just been the grease between the gears that got something done. And so while that person, I mean, how many of us know of eccentric people, of people who maybe you don't agree with, but they've actually gone on and done great things? So you may not like the person, but the things that happened because of that person, maybe that we're better off for it. I don't know. You have your own examples that will come to your mind, but this could be the case. So carry these ideas, think about them, store them, or if they're a strong idea, they'll linger. If they're not as strong an idea, then maybe they can be revised and continue to be measured. Because what we're going to do is take these, and we are going to go through a holiday detail page for our next workshop. Now, I want to do this one more time. For our villain, to showcase that workshop. And also, we began with things like the appearance, talent, mannerism. That can belong to anyone, and then we focused on the specifics of the character. You can do it the other way if that is how your brain works, or you think it'll be more evocative storytelling. So let's go to our villain workshop, our villain worksheet in our workshop. Let's begin with these details first and see if we apply the other qualities after the fact, how that refines our ideas. So keep Artemis, and I know Delport's gone to bed, but for the things Delport and everyone else, what you've said, keep that in mind. And especially now when we can place this holiday against another holiday, this might tell more of a story of the folklore, religion, culture, economy, or something of these people. So, one more time with feeling. Artemis, why don't you start us out with a D100 roll? And for those of you still here, so Matt Alpha, Macabre Derek, Keys, if you're still around, I will call on you again. Matt says a prominent gnome adopted half-elf who made sure she was well-schooled, and she sought over time so like she was conniving. She wanted to rise to power. Ravenstar wants to lock in the flaw. Artemis gives us a 36. So we have another female character. Next up, can I get Macabre Derek to roll 1d9 in chat, please? And tell us more about this character. Okay, Dragon. Lands on a 5. Another half-elf? Ooh, alright, this is getting a little spicy. Let's find out what's going on here. Another half-elf, and Dragon, I need, as we have a villainous character, I want to roll on the penchant for evil. 1d100, please. All right, Keys. 88. So we would have been neutral evil in the same spread there. 88 is another chaotic evil. I wonder if it's the same. Are we making the same character, but maybe different phases of her life? I don't know. Let's find out more. A chaotic evil, female half-elf. And Keys, I need you to type exclamation point 1d18. Pardon. 4. A criminal spy. Or a criminal spy in particular. Oh, goodness, y'all. Yeah. I don't know. I'm still getting very strong it writes itself vibes here. Okay, next up. Let's have Matt Alpha. If you're still here with us, can I have you roll 1d12 in chat? And after Fav, 5. A fighter. Ooh, all right. After Fav, can you type exclamation point 1d3, please? All right, 1. A battle master. And then lastly, for this portion, don't worry, Raven, I haven't skipped you over. Can I have, who's still here? I must have missed some people. Goblin Town. Goblin Town, if you're still here, can I get a 1d100 roll from you, please? $22. We have another young adult. Ooh, okay. A young adult chaotic evil female half-elf battlemaster fighter who is a spy. In this case, is this the same person and one is just a disguise? Is this describing a deity or two deities? If our world, or at least our region, is gnomes and dwarves, and we're describing a prompt for a holiday being half-elves, if elves or humans don't exist, that's the traditional half-elf, could this be describing what these people's celestials look like? With you know, a little bit more gentler features or slender ears, because to gnomes and dwarves, a half elf, if they're not otherwise known as a people, would look rather alien, and that could be a depiction of a god or a goddess in this case. So we have some details of the character. Let's find out a little bit more about this holiday personification as our gears are turning. Are you getting ideas out there? Are things making sense for this as an individual personification for a holiday, let alone now reflecting it against the first prompt we made and then against the setting itself? Let's find out more. Pardon me. Now we get a couple extra fun steps. As we are overtly creating a villain here. Let's see. Who else is out there? Iron Chef, can you please type exclamation point 1d20? Yeah, Iron. Or were there humans and elves and they were actually wiped out in the war and moved in? Or it's an old society that they just moved in and they wiped themselves out. Maybe there's a curse on the land where people who live there eventually just remove themselves. 11. A humanoid conqueror? Well, there, of course. Our objective or scheme. What or how are we conquering? I want a little more specificity. Who all is still out there that has not yet rolled? I would love for to get as many of you as possible in chat rolling some dice and coming up with ideas alongside us. If you're new here, that's fine. You can speak up and go, oh, hey, I'd like to. If you've been here forever, I'll call on you too, because especially, hey, if it's a second roll, let's keep things moving. All right, Rip Artist, in the meantime, can you type exclamation point 1d8? Two, influence. All right, now, more in particular, Rip Artist, 1d4, please. Win favor with a powerful individual. Now, how is this going to happen? Macabre Derek, how is our villain going to try and gain influence? Derek, I'd like you to type exclamation point 1d20 in chat, please. $15. Through religion. Wait a minute. Through religion? In our setting, the main temple, presumably the main religion, is actually a temple to a false deity. Run by charlatan priests. We have a spy that's looking to gain influence. Now, in particular, Derek, I need to know with a 1d4 roll, how is, I need more specificity here. Specifically false gods. Y'all, are you I'm getting tingles up my spine. Now, our villain has some particular weakness. Let's go with Matt Alpha. I'll call on you again here, because I appreciate you finding us and sticking around. Matt Alpha, I need you to type exclamation point 1d8, please. Six. An ancient prophecy or riddle reveals how the villain can be overthrown. Matt, I would like you to roll 1d12, please. On a 1 through 6, it's an ancient prophecy. On a 7 through 12, it's a riddle. Kind of, whatever, 6 to 1 half dozen to the other. D12. But it might help us a little bit more. 4. All right. An ancient prophecy reveals how the villain can be overthrown. All right, let's continue to detail this villain and find some more prompts for this holiday. Artemis Rose Moon, if you are still with us, may I please have a 1d20 roll in chat? And Goblin Town, if you're still here too, I would like you to roll exclamation point 2d8. Artemis gives us a 20. This person is exceptionally ugly. Oh, did I say D8? I'm sorry, I meant 2D6. I need 2D6 from you, Goblin Town. Sorry about that. Three and 6. High Constitution, low Charisma. High Constitution, hardy, hale, healthy. Low Charisma, dull, boring. Panda, you made the mistake of speaking up in chat. Panda, please type exclamation point 1D20 in chat. Stops on a 17. This person is an expert juggler. What is a mannerism of this character or personification? Let's have Afterfov. Roll 1d20, Afterfov, if you're able to do so. Stops on a 16. Choose something. Her interaction with others. Keys, would you please type exclamation point 1D12 in chat? Bristle Bandit, are you still here? Because I'll call on you as well. Keys rolls a 6. Friendly. At least in appearance. Bristle Bandit, are you still here? Hey, have a good night, Keys. Thank you for the support, and thank you for helping us to come up with these holiday prompts. I hope that this has been intriguing for you. Alright, Panda, let's get a second roll in for you, since I've been calling on a lot of the same people. Panda, can I have you type 2d6, exclamation point 2d6 in chat, please? One, two, three. A lawful ideal of honor. We have... So, Derek, this might tickle you. So, she has come... she is a clanner in Battletech and has come offering this conquering with this religion of false gods, and is offering Bachals as a battle master to these people. So, what is her bond? In fact, since I called on you, Derek, I need a 1d10 from you. And Ravenstar, we're cashing in your workshop dice roll for a 1d12 from you. So I need a 1d10 from Derek and a 1d12. 8. Protective of a valuable possession. And Raven says that her flaw or secret is overpowering greed. All right. Now, on its own, or feel free to compare it to everything that we've made so far. The whole point of this workshop structure is to build our stories one step at a time and to layer them so that they all make sense and are contiguous. We have... All right, so this is an autumn holiday taking place in this region. Mountain coast, which could also be... it could also be a river or a lake that you're used to. We're not chasing waterfalls. This in current day where we find ourselves, it is a militocracy ruled by martial law. There is a monument of a sealed pyramid somewhere, as well as an intact statue of a person. There is a dead magic zone somewhere, if not everywhere. Magic doesn't work in a particular place or everywhere. Which actually might mean that there's a need for technology to grow here. Because magic just doesn't work. And that could have led to an arms race or a cold war that got a little heated or something. I don't know. A lot of compelling stuff. We have gnomes and dwarves as the primary residents. They don't have to be the only ones. There could be elves, humans, and half-elves. Or if we just say, nope, dwarves and gnomes, we'll treat them as humans and halflings in that respect. We know that the gnomes are conquerors in some way, that this area is ruled by a mysterious anonymous cabal, that this area is a major trade center, and it is known for a great hero. Though the current calamity, what is going on right now, is that an important figure died and murder is suspected. The major religious building we know as the DM is actually a temple to a false deity run by charlatan priests. And the major tavern in town, like the big place, the cultural center, is called the Howling Mountain. Why is it called that, I wonder? The Howling Mountain, and it is an upper-class dining club. Set against this, here are the two holiday prompts that we have generated by personifying them as an NPC and a villain. Welcome back, Orchid. Hey, Diadems, good to see you. After Fav, the treasured protected object is what's creating the dead magic zone. So then it would seem, if we go with that pitch, and you all can pitch your ideas out there as well, that these holidays, and maybe in a militocracy, where there's not exactly a true religion. I mean, people might believe it is, but it's sort of made up. It might be that most of the holidays are civic holidays, or historical holidays, and as we know, the victors write the history books. So both of these could very well be historical holidays. It's just similar to, I mean, you can celebrate Oktoberfest in the same season as Veterans Day, here in the U.S. And Canada also had their Veterans Day equivalent. And as the discussion said, you all were starting to think of, all right, so the bracelets are a part of something. It might simulate the sound of a marching army. Just, things that we would use as observers. I'm really curious, what is the story? We have two young adult half-elves, and either half-elf is just these people's concept of an angel or a god or goddess, or this could have been some third party that had come in to try and negotiate, maybe even negotiate a peace between the gnomes and the dwarves. And each of them ended up having their own, each of them had their own take. Or, what if this is the same historical figure, comma, but one of them is the interpretation of this figure from the perspective of the gnomes, and the other is the same figure from the perspective of the dwarves. And they celebrate the same person for two different reasons. Because they knew this person in two different ways. And that could even be a cultural schism. You know, it's like it's the chronological veil, the very thin liminality that separates Canadian Thanksgiving from the U.S. Thanksgiving, and the fact that it is just causing irreconcilable differences between us because our Thanksgivings are not celebrated in the same month. So each of us, as Canadians and as U.S. citizens, know the same holiday in two different ways. A wink and a nod and a laugh to all of you out there from Canada. But these are things to think about. Yeah, I like that spirit, Panda. Absolutely. You get turkey 2 times. Is this a mythology of sisters from a foreign land, twins? Is this again like a Gemini style, or even like, if we're talking about, you know, angels and celestials, they don't always look like us, if you get what I'm saying. And you could even have like a Janus style effect, Janus, if you're familiar with Janus. Come on, I keep forgetting the names. The Transformers that had the faces that would turn and be a different mood. Like there's a happy face and an angry face. The Quint somethings. And good morning, Phil. There we go. Thank you, Derek. The quintessence. This could even be a figure that was playing to both sides. Yeah, yep, Matt, that is Janus. Absolutely, you got it. And if we had this conqueror, or this person who is moving in, playing both sides against each other. And in fact, how about this pitch? The dwarves and the gnomes knew this same person in 2 different ways. It's 2 holidays that are the same. What if, in the midst of the war, this character actually ended up being a unifying outside force, where the dwarves and the gnomes turned their efforts to repel this conqueror, this otherworldly conqueror, or just a people from a foreign land, either metaphorically made as a goddess, or just was a goddess. And so while there is this conquering, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's not a peace. And it happens that when the dust settled, this is how their society needs the regularity of the military to make sure that everything stays in lockstep, that the gears are turning in a measured fashion, and so maybe there's never another interloper again. That could be it too. I mean, look, if we have this, if we have some sort of a sealed pyramid, what if the sealed pyramid even has sealed away this entity? Or, in the war, the pyramid was unsealed, this intervening party came out, both sides lobbied it for power in the war, and ended up unifying them, and was either just completely destroyed, or was sealed back into the pyramid. the intact statue of a person. It could even be, or if we want to go the historical route, these half-elves were people. Could be the same person. We have a spy. We have someone who's duplicitous. We have someone, who has other identities. Or this is a person who otherwise stepped up, or even betrayed the half-elf contingency. And so the people put up a statue of this lieutenant who betrayed their commander. Does that sound similar to any D&D stories you know? A lieutenant who went on to injure and defeat a commander? And so this person is actually lauded as, as noble for informing them that they were being played the whole time. Maybe that's what brought about the dead magic zone even. Or it's because of that artifact. Could be otherworldly. It could just be a foreign object from a foreign land brought in by a foreigner who is hoping that by suppressing magic, there would be some other sort of overpowering, maybe that's how the half-elves were conquering other places, but not here, because these people are too inventive. They weren't as reliant on magic. Because I'll tell you, in a world where there's magic, if you can shut it off, you're gonna win. So, excellent things to think about. Excellent prompts, and I want this to settle in your brains overnight. Because when we come back for our next workshop, I'm gonna have our lists out of how these holidays are observed through maybe prominent colors, sayings, food that is eaten, taboos to avoid, that kind of a thing.